everybody. It's Julianne from Cary Quilting with another installation of our 2-minute quilter video series. Today I'm going to show you how to attach your two binding ends when you're applying your binding to the edges of your quilt. If you'll come with me right here, you'll see I started my binding over here and I left myself about an 8-inch tail before I started sewing. So this tail is free and I sewed in that direction. When I finished the perimeter of the quilt, I stopped sewing about 15 inches back. So I have plenty of space here to work with while I'm trying to get these two ends to meet nicely. The first thing I'm going to do is lay down the one side so it's nice and flat. And then I'm going to lay down the next side right on top of it with a little bit showing from the bottom piece. So here's my bottom piece, here's my top piece. I'm going to leave a little bit showing here so I know where to make my cut on this piece. Now I do this a really shortcutted way. You can choose to use pins if you'd like, but I'm kind of just a go for it kind of quilter. So I know that I need a 1/2 inch so that I can get 2/4 inch seams, one out of this piece and one out of that piece. So I'm just going to lay my ruler down right here. This is a Creative Grid 6.5 inch square. I'm using this 1/2 inch line right here. I'm laying it down right on this line, and that's going to give me my starting cut for this top piece of binding. So I'm just going to take one little snip right there. Now, in order to finish this cut, this is going to be a 45-degree angle, but I take a little shortcut and I use this end that we've already cut at a 45-degree angle, and I lay it on top. That way I don't have to carry this quilt over to my cutting board or anything like that. I'm just going to lay these two right on top of each other and use the end of the binding strip as a template for cutting the line that I want. So now that that's cut, we're going to toss that. Now you can look at this and see that these are going to meet and there's a 1/2 inch overlap. So now I'm going to open these up, pin them together, and in this case I do use pins, and make that stitch. So once I have it all pinned together, I'm going to take it right over here to my sewing machine, run another 1/4 inch seam, same way we did when we were putting our binding strips together to start with. I slide these pins back. When we finish up, I'm going to pull the pins out, and this should lay nice and flat on the back of my quilt. Now I can just pick back up where I stopped, run the rest of that line, and I'm going to have a perfect binding. You can't ever tell where it stopped or started. That's our 2 minutes. See you next time.